everybody, and welcome to Barbershop Books Story Time with Alvin Irby. That's me. Today's story is a really cool book. I think it's a story that some of you might be familiar with. So, what is today's story? Well, today's story is called The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard the story of the Three Little Pigs. But have you heard the true story of the Three Little Pigs? Well, on the cover, I see a wolf, and so I barely even see the pigs. I wonder who's going to be telling this story. Because I see the wolf on the cover, it makes me think that just maybe the wolf might be telling this story. There's only one way to find out. Let's hop into the story. The true story of the Three Little Pigs. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody's ever heard my side of the story. Well, whose side of the story do you think we're talking about? I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. Did you know that the name of the wolf was Alexander? I didn't know that. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing started, but it's all wrong. And look, here's a picture of the wolf. And what's the wolf's name? Alexander. Which, who even knew that the wolf's name was Alexander? Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault that wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. And look, here's a big sandwich. I think it's like a sandwich for a wolf. Let's take a closer look at this sandwich. I see some suspicious stuff. Look, there's a tail coming out of the sandwich. Gross! I think that might be like a mouse. I'm not sure. And I see some arms sticking out of the sandwich. Ew. Oh no, look. I see two bunny ears sticking out of the sandwich. Oh man, this is not looking good. This is like a cheeseburger sandwich for wolves and it has lots of gross stuff on it. I don't know. The wolf, he's looking at the sandwich like he's really hungry, like he really likes it a lot. But I like saying the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. A sneeze and a cup of sugar? I don't know why the wolf would say that, but he has a chalkboard and he drew a sneeze. You see this nose? And then I think it's sneezing. And then over here, it says sugar. And there's a cup. So I guess this is the cup of sugar. And then this is the sneeze. For those of you who are just tuning in to Barbershop Books Storytime, today we're reading The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. Did you know there was a true story? Let's see what else this wolf has to say. This is the real story. And look, it says right here, this is the real story. Do you believe the wolf? I don't know. I don't know if I would believe a wolf. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So, here's the wolf, and it looks like he's making a cake. But his cake looks a little strange. Do you see anything weird in his cake? Let's take a look. Is there anything weird in his cake? I think I see some eggs. Maybe there's some flour. Do you see something weird sticking out of his cake mix? I see 2 bunny ears, 2 rabbit ears sticking out of his cake. Would you eat a rabbit cake? Ew! I would never eat a rabbit cake. Although, I have eaten rabbit and rice before. I know. But in Arkansas, where I'm from, sometimes people would cook rabbit sometimes. Just like the way people cook chicken. But I don't think people really liked this wolf very much. Let's see what happens next. He's telling us his story. Remember, he wants us to hear what he says is the true story of the 3 little pigs. So, I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. So now he's saying that the pig isn't smart. Let's see what else he says. He had built his whole house out of straw. Oh, that's why the wolf thinks that the pig isn't smart. He says he's not very bright because he built his entire house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house of straw? Well, here we have the wolf, and he's walking, and what is he tossing up in the air? I think it's a measuring cup. Now, why in the world would the wolf be carrying a measuring cup? Do you remember what the wolf said that he needed? He said that he needed a cup of sugar. So, I guess if you're going to ask your neighbor for a cup of sugar, well, at least you can do is bring your own cup. So, I guess that was a nice thing for the wolf to do. Do you see the house made out of straw way in the back? It's right here. Well, that's where the wolf is walking. I wonder what's going to happen when the wolf gets to the house made out of straw. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think the pig is going to be nice and give him a cup of sugar? Do you think something else might happen? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's keep reading. So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old grandma's birthday cake. And look, there is the wolf, and he's peeking inside of the house very suspiciously. Let's see what happens next. That's when my nose started to itch. Oh, this doesn't sound good. I felt a sneeze coming on when I huffed and I snuffed, and what do you think is gonna happen if he's standing inside of a straw house and he has a really, really, really big sneeze? What do you think is going to happen to the pig's straw house? Well, it says here, and I sneezed a great sneeze. So not like a little achoo. He said a great sneeze. So it was like, or even bigger than that. And look what happened to the house. It does not look good. It looks like he sneezed so hard that part of the house is falling down. And if you look closely, do you see anyone running in the back? I see a pig. And that pig is getting out of there. Because if you're a pig, oh man, you definitely don't want to be alone with a wolf, because wolves think that pigs are delicious. Did you know that wolves like bacon? Well, this wolf, I don't know. Let's see. And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. So when the wolf sneezed, the entire house fell down. Now here's what the wolf wants us to believe. That he had, I guess, a cold, a really bad cold that made him sneeze really hard, and that he just happened to be at a pig's house asking for sugar when he blew the whole pig's house down. Do you believe that? I don't know. That whole darn straw house fell down, and right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. Oh no! He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw. So I ate it up. What? He ate the little pig? Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. And look, the wolf is sitting there thinking about this pig. I think the pig was afraid, and I think the wolf wanted to eat the pig anyway. But we're going to hear out the wolf and see what else he has to say. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He built this house out of sticks. And what did the first pig build his house out of? Straw. Well, sticks are a type of wood, so I think it should be stronger. Hopefully, if the wolf sneezes again, he won't accidentally blow down the house because sticks are stronger, right? Well, let's see. I rang the doorbell. Oh, I didn't show you the picture. Here is the house made out of sticks. What do you think? Does it look strong or does it look weak? I mean, I think it looks stronger than straw, but we have to see. I rang the doorbell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, "Mr. Pig, are you in?" He yelled back, "Go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin." Oh, and look, the pig really is shaving the hairs on his chinny chin chin. Do you see the hairs on his chinny chin chin? They're all around here. Do you see them? And guess what? I even have hairs on my chinny chin chin. But If a guy has like hair just on their chin, they usually call it a goatee. But I don't think the pig had a goatee. That would be funny. Well, here's again the picture. And look, the pig can even see the wolf's tail. Do you see it? It's right here. And he even has a picture on the wall. Maybe you can barely see it, but it's a picture of a pig. I wonder if that's him or if that's one of his relatives. I don't know. Let's see what happens next. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. Oh man. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. So it wasn't a little achoo. It was a huge, a great sneeze. So it must have been like, achoo, or even more powerful than that. What do you think happened? Oh man, it doesn't look good for the stick house at all. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was this second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. I don't believe this wolf. I think he wanted to eat that pig anyway. And so look, there's a wolf nowhere to be seen, but you see the little pig and he's in the ground, and that's kind of sad. Now, if you look next to the pig, it looks like there are sticks that look like eating utensils. Do you know what eating utensils are? It's like a fork or a spoon or a knife. It's stuff you use to eat. And look, it almost looks like there's forks and even a spoon. If you look really close, it almost looks like a spoon. Who would have arranged for there to be a fork or a spoon or a knife made out of sticks? I sure don't think it was the pig. This looks very, very suspicious to me. Well, let's see what happens next. Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. And what do you think that was? Well, I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. I wonder why he had built his house of bricks. Now, I have a question for you. Which kind of house do you think is the strongest? Straw, sticks, or bricks? Well, bricks are really hard and they do not come down with a sneeze. I knocked on the brick house, no answer. I called, Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in there? And do you know what that rude little porker answered? That's not nice to call the pig a porker. That's like a rude name. Get out of here, wolf. Don't bother me again. And so I think that the pig was looking through a little peephole so the pig could know who's at the door. And the pig said to him, "Hey man, get out of here. If you were a pig, would you want a wolf to be hanging out at your house? I sure wouldn't." So let's see what's happening next. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear sweet granny's birthday cake. So now the wolf is trying to make us feel sorry for him after he just ate not one pig, but 2 pigs. Do you feel sorry for this wolf? Because I don't feel sorry at all. Not one little bit. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, "And your old granny can sit on a pen." What? He told the wolf that his granny could sit on a pen? Do you know how much that would hurt? That is not a nice thing to say to somebody's granny, about somebody's granny, even if it is a wolf, which wolves and pigs, yeah, they don't get along. But that's still not a nice thing to say. And if you look, according to the wolf side of the story, even the pig looked mean. Do you see him in there? He doesn't even look like a nice pig. He looks kind of mean. Well, I don't know. Let's see what happens next. Now, I'm surely a pretty calm fellow. But when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. Uh-oh, this does not sound good. When the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break down the pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. Well, look, you can see that I think there may be police that are showing up on the scene. And I think they might be pigs. And somebody even has a microphone. Do you see it? Someone has a microphone. So maybe they're going to interview the wolf or interview the pig. I'm not sure. But guess what? It doesn't look like the wolf is getting into the third pig's home. Well, lucky for him, because things did not go well for the first 2 pigs. The rest, as they say, is history. And look, the news says, the Daily Pig, big bad wolf. And look, it looks like there's a picture. A.T. Wolf. Oh, because what was the wolf's name again? I forgot. Let's look at the beginning of the story. Alexander T. Wolf. So in the newspaper, it says A.T. Wolf, big and bad. And what does the A.T. stand for? It stands for, I just looked at this and I already forgot. Alexander and then T. But we don't know what the T stands for. But the newspapers just called him A.T. Wolf, big and bad. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going around to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all of that huff and puff and blow your house down. And they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. Do you think the wolf was framed? Nobody made him eat those pigs. He could have said, you know what? I didn't mean to blow their house down. I didn't mean for the pigs to get hurt. Let me just go and tell the ambulance or somebody else about the problem. But is that what the wolf did? No. The wolf said, ooh, look, that pig, well, I can't just let it sit there in the ground. let me just have a little dinner. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. Look, the big bad wolf is old and he's in jail. I guess he's been there a long time and he's still trying to make still trying to borrow some sugar. Do you trust this wolf and his story? I don't know. Well, guess what? That's the end. So today, for Barbershop Book Storytime, we read the true story of the three little pigs. Well, at least according to the wolf. Thank you so much for watching today's story. If you want to learn more information about Barbershop Books or to make a donation, you can visit our website at barbershopbooks.org. If you would like to connect with us on social media, it's super easy. All you have to do is just go to wherever you're on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, even LinkedIn, and type Barbershop Books, and you'll find us. Well, until next time, bye.